If you're in a gym or a small personal training studio, you probably got some sort of way of potential customers trying you out before you buy. And if you've ever done Facebook ads, you've probably been told to use Facebook lead forms to get people to sign up really easily and really quickly, with a view that you can then follow up those leads by calling the people, sending them text messages, or sending them an email. And most gym owners are told that the easier it is for someone to sign up to one of these free trials via a form, the better, the more leads you'll get. But what if that mindset is getting you ghosted more often than you get conversions? And if you've done this method, I'm pretty sure you've had your fair share of people not replying to your texts, not returning your calls, or if they do get on a call with you going, oh yeah, I think I remember doing that. And it's a bit awkward. So what I'm going to show you in this video is that the super easy auto form filling isn't the right strategy for getting the right people into your gym, why your funnel is probably backwards and costing you more sales than you realize, and show you a simple fix that I put into place at my gym, which has helped us make a conversion rate of 40% from people who are coming in for a free trial through to becoming a member. The sell for lead forms or Facebook lead forms or these automatic forms which get filled in as soon as they click on the advert is pretty simple. The potential customer sees your ad, they click on it, and because Facebook has all your details, it auto fills in your name, your surname, your phone number maybe, and your email address. And all they have to do is press submit. And that comes from Facebook into your lead inbox. Depending on what automations you've got set up, it might go straight to your customer relations marketing software, or it might just be you have to get those things out of Facebook themselves. The key thing here is you've got to follow those things up yourself. And you might use an automated system to do that, such as emails or text messages. It might be that you want to get them on the phone and give them a call. But the elephant in the room here that no one really talks about is that these leads aren't real leads. And what I mean by that is they haven't made any effort at all to get the free thing that you're selling them. I mean, they didn't even type their own name. That's how little effort they had to make. They just had to press one button to submit. And because of that, people often forget that they've even filled out those forms until they get a call from you or an email from you saying, hey, would you like our free trial? And because a lot of people do these things on a whim, they click on it and then they just completely forget when they feel a little bit happier later on in the day. Now, of course, you are going to get people who are wanting to your 3-day trial and really do want to come to your gym. But what I've found is majority of the time, the people who do click on these things, they end up ghosting you and actually wasting your time rather than becoming members. And a big reason why this happens is they weren't interested, because they were obviously interested in your initial offer because they clicked the button. They just weren't invested in it enough. It was too free, if that makes sense. And there is a little bit of evidence of behavioral science to back this up, and it's called effort justification. And what this says is that when people invest a little bit of effort in something, even if it's free, they value the outcome more. They may not have invested their money in it, but they've invested their time, and time is really valuable. Another example of this would be the so-called IKEA effect, where people build the stuff themselves and they value it a bit more. I'm not so sold on that because I buy IKEA stuff and I hate the process of putting it up. In fact, I hate it so much, I actually normally pay somebody to come and put it up for me because I just can't be bothered with the time it takes to do it. And I'm not DIY person. I normally mess things up. I put a drawer the wrong way around or something, and that's really annoying. However, I'm probably an outlier in that fact. And the behavioral science is if someone invests something in getting something, they're going to value it a little bit more. So ideally, we want to make our free trial or free week pass or whatever you've got a little bit harder to get than just clicking one button, because we want people to value our gym more than just okay, that'll do and I'll see what happens, click. So what does this mean for our strategy in terms of getting the right leads in that aren't going to be time wasters? Well, what we can do is apply friction strategically to the process in order to sort of weed out the time wasters, the people who aren't really ready to commit to doing anything or signing up at the moment. We can create a little bit of perceived value because they've had to work for it a little bit more. And we can also ask them to make a micro commitment in the sales process. And this relates to something called the commitment and consistency principle. And why that's important is that if we want someone to make a big commitment to us, such as signing up for our gym membership or our, say, like 6-week coaching program, it's going to be more difficult to get them from, hello, I've just met you, to, would you like to sign up for my gym membership, than it is to say, hello, I've just met you, would you like to have a few little commitments before I ask you for a big commitment? And if they're not willing to spend about 5 minutes on making that micro commitment, they're probably not invested enough yet to sign up for your membership. And yes, you'll get more drop-offs this way, but you'll also get more conversions because the people who actually go through that 5-minute process, they really are thinking about joining up and they've not just done it on a whim. And we can see this applied in other areas and other industries as well. For example, adding one extra step like create your account to get a 10% discount often results in fewer signups, but actually you get a higher conversion and more people spending more money in the long term. So here's how we apply that process at My Gym Ministry of Fitness. First of all, we had a Facebook ad that says you can get your 3-day trial here. They click on the button and it takes them to a page where they have to fill in just their name, their surname, and their email. And sometimes we ask for phone number as well. We have 2 pages, which is like A and B testing. And then once they click on the Get My 3 Days of Awesomeness button, they get taken to a secondary page which says, hey, great, just click here and you can create your 3-day trial account. That's the micro commitment where they have to spend around about 2 or 3 minutes just filling in their details on my membership system, which then gives them their 3-day trial. And then all they have to do is come in and start. Of course, we get people dropping off as soon as they filled in their details and they then don't get the 3-day trial, even though they spent that time. But the people who do come in and they get the 3-day trial, they convert at 40% compared to the 20% we had in the past, where we just asked people to fill in a form and then we phoned them or text them or emailed them to try and get them to come in. Now, of course, you've got to have the type of gym that they want to come to anyway, but you should be taking care of that in your advertising to attract them. And the follow-up process we make over those 3-day trials with follow-up emails and details about the gym and what we do for our members, introducing the community, that plays a massive role in that. But it all works together. If we didn't have the micro commitments at the beginning, we'd be getting people into that process who weren't ready to commit, and all the best copy and emails in the world wouldn't make them turn into members. So we've got these people in, they're ready to convert, they want to turn into members. What do we do now? Well, we need to flip the friction on its head there, because there are so many gyms that when people say, hey, I want to be a member, they go, hey, great, here's 300 forms to fill out. And it takes them 10-15 minutes to go through all these forms, fill them out, and then do the payment. And that's a lot of friction to put in the way of somebody who wants to give you money. We want to clear all the decks and make it so easy for them to come and sign up. And because in our process, we've already got their details, all they have to do is click on a membership online to sign up, or they can come into the gym and it takes around about 30 seconds to put their card details in and sign them up. And another thing I want to really reiterate here is if your gym has about 10 or 15 different types of memberships, you're not giving them more choice, you're making it harder for them to choose. I've done another video out of this, so I'll link it somewhere here. But please look at your memberships and don't confuse them when it's actually time to sign up. And it's not just gyms that this works for. In 2011, Amazon added the Buy Now button onto their website, and it was the most profitable thing they ever did in their business, because it removed all the address details and fill in this, fill in that, because all those things were already pre-filled. If you saw something you like, you just press buy now. It says to these details, yes, and then it gets sent to you. And I buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, and I can tell you that I bought a fair bit of stuff which I potentially wouldn't have if I'd had to go through a few steps and, do I really need this thing? Or is it just an impulse buy? They removed the steps from the payment part, not the initial search. That was the friction. If that all makes sense to you, you're probably now thinking about your own gym's free trial or 3-week pass or whatever you offer to get people in. and thinking, is there any steps here that I can make it easier or make it harder at the right times? And there's a simple test you can do for this. Just go onto Google, open an incognito window, and go onto your gym website or wherever you've got your 3-day pass thing loaded, and take the time to go through the whole process and time it. If it takes less than 5 minutes to get your 3-day trial or free sign up, it's probably slightly too short and probably slightly too easy for you to get it. Is there a way that you can slow down that process to filter out the people who are the time wasters or who aren't ready to invest just yet? And then once you have signed up for your 3-day trial, if you've got any sort of email automation or anything loaded with that, go through that process over the 3 days, read the emails as they come, don't fast forward through it, and ask yourself, would I be tempted to sign up with these emails or this backup? If you haven't got any things that are sending out over those 3 days, you need to add them, because that's what builds the trust in your gym and starts introducing your future members to the community that they're going to join. And then once you've completed your trial period, go to sign up, and actually do sign up with your business credit card and see how long it takes you using either your phone as an app or whatever else you've got set up. If it takes longer than 5 minutes to do this, you really need to shorten that process. And I must stress here, you need to do it from the point of view as someone who is completely oblivious to what your gym does. Don't let your knowledge bias, your expert bias come into that and thinking, yes, of course I want the gold premium membership with 20 PT sessions because that's the best thing. Look at it all, read through all the memberships you've got, see how long it takes you to read through all the memberships, all the membership options, and if you can have a partner or if you can have a discount, if you blue light or all this other stuff that you might have in place. Read through it all, time it, and see if you get bored. You'll know if you get bored because you might be swiping off to go onto Instagram or something like that. And if that is the case, you definitely need to shorten that process. In summary, the question you need to ask yourself is, am I making it easy to kick tires but hard to commit? And if you are, you need to flip that round. Hope that was helpful for you. Somewhere around here is going to be a video popping up which you might find interesting if you found this video interesting, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.